Angela Deem from 90 Day Fiancé was arrested in a drug case and given a 6-month prison sentence. Hi everyone, this is Jennifer from 90 Day Insider, bringing you the latest news, drama, and behind-the-scenes updates. Let's get into it. Angela, known for her loud temper, intense arguments, and big personality on TLC's hit show, has once again become the center of shocking news that even her loyal fans are struggling to believe. This time, it's not just TV drama. The situation has turned serious in real life with legal consequences. Reports say Angela was arrested in connection with a drug-related case and has already received a 6-month jail sentence. While fans laughed at her wild behavior on screen, people close to her have always said that her real life was even more chaotic than what the camera showed. Now those rumors have turned into real headlines, showing a darker side of the reality star. Fans have followed Angela's intense relationship with her Nigerian husband, Michael Ilisanmi, watching everything from emotional airport reunions to angry video call arguments. Although the exact details are unclear, sources claim that Angela not only had illegal substances, but also tried to hide or destroy evidence during the investigation. Prosecutors moved quickly, and Angela's temper, which once made her a fan favorite, reportedly hurt her case in court. The arrest came after weeks of investigation into possible drug possession and distribution. Authorities got a search warrant after receiving multiple tips linking her to suspicious activity. They said they found shocking evidence connected to the charges. In court, Angela couldn't control herself like she does on TV. The judge was not amused by her behavior and reminded her that fame does not place anyone above the law. When the verdict was announced, Angela was officially sentenced to 6 months in prison. Many believe this could be the end of her career as one of reality TV's most talked about personalities. People present during the trial said Angela acted the same way she does on TV, shouting, arguing, and even accusing the judge of setting her up. Fans reacted online, saying this time she crossed the line. Social media exploded with reactions using hashtags like #AngelaArrested and #90dayscandal. Some fans were shocked, while others said they expected something like this to happen eventually. This situation has also affected her already troubled marriage to Michael. Their relationship has always been full of mistrust, jealousy, and constant fighting. Now that Angela is in jail, sources say Michael feels embarrassed and unsure if he should continue supporting her. Some insiders claim he is thinking about divorce because her actions are damaging his image. Fans have always argued about Michael's true reasons for staying with Angela. Some believe it was love. Others think it was for a green card, and some say he was simply stuck in a toxic relationship. Now that Angela's problems are worse than ever, many wonder if this will finally push him to walk away. Angela has been a major source of ratings for the network, attracting millions with her extreme personality. But her arrest puts TLC in a difficult position. Reality TV is built on drama, but when legal trouble comes into play, it becomes a risk. Some believe TLC might end their connection with her to protect their image, while others think the scandal could bring even more viewers if handled carefully. The public is divided, and TLC's decision will determine if Angela remains part of the franchise or if she is removed completely. People are now guessing what life in prison will look like for Angela. She is known for smoking, yelling, and wanting things her way. But prison is a place with strict rules and no special treatment. Many wonder if she will be able to handle 6 months without losing control, or if this experience will humble her. Angela rose from being a grandmother in Georgia to a worldwide reality TV figure. But fame came with a price. The woman who once connected with fans through emotional moments slowly changed into someone always ready to fight, shout, and now face legal trouble. Fans are asking if this is the end of her story or just another chapter before a comeback. As the news spreads, people are also questioning the effects of reality TV culture. Stars are often rewarded for shocking behavior, but real life has consequences that cameras cannot protect them from. Did Angela get carried away by fame? Did the attention push her to act more extreme until she finally crossed a line she couldn't return from? Angela has always been someone who lived without limits. But now, inside prison, she faces a different kind of life. One without attention, cigarettes, or control. For someone who always wanted power, This may become the most humbling moment of her life. Her 6-month prison sentence has officially begun. The days of storming out of arguments, yelling at Michael through calls, and throwing insults without consequences are now behind her. Behind bars, she will face a reality she cannot argue her way out of. Angela is being treated like every other inmate with no special privilege, no cameras to capture her outbursts, and no audience reacting to her behavior. This is a huge change for someone who has lived off attention for years. Sources from inside the facility say Angela was restless and defiant during her first few days, struggling to adjust to the strict rules and structured routine of prison life. Some inmates recognize her from 90 Day Fiancé and are curious to see if she acts as wild in real life as she did on TV, while others see her as just another prisoner with no star status. For someone like Angela, who always thrived on being unique and loud, being treated like everyone else may hurt more than the sentence itself. Meanwhile, her husband Michael Ilisamy is facing his own wave of attention. Her arrest has changed everything, putting him under the spotlight not as Angela's husband, but as the man who might finally break free from her control. For years, Michael was the quieter one in their dramatic relationship, often seen trying to keep the peace while Angela shouted and insulted him. Many fans believed he stayed because of loyalty, fear, or hope for a future in the United States. But insiders say that being tied to someone now in prison for drug-related charges may be the final breaking point for him. Michael has reportedly told friends that he is tired of the embarrassment and no longer wants to defend Angela to anyone, not his family in Nigeria or people online. If he files for divorce while she is still behind bars, it would mark a dramatic end to one of the most unforgettable couples in the show's history. Michael, who usually posts lighthearted selfies and short updates to fans, has gone completely silent on social media since the arrest. Fans believe this silence means he has finished supporting Angela, though others think he may be waiting for the situation to calm down before making a public statement. Some say he is being respectful of the legal process, while others think he is quietly preparing to distance himself for good. His silence has sparked endless online speculation and argument. This situation also creates a major problem for TLC. The network built a brand around dramatic and controversial reality stars, but criminal charges made public at this scale could risk sponsor backlash and damage the company's image. According to insiders, executives are urgently discussing how to handle Angela's situation. She has always been one of the biggest names in the franchise, pulling in high ratings with her chaotic energy. But one insider reportedly said, "There's drama and then there's disaster." This is disaster. Some within TLC see an opportunity, thinking the scandal could bring huge ratings if turned into a storyline, while others warn that showcasing criminal behavior could make the network look irresponsible. Fans are divided too. Some say Angela should be removed from future seasons and that the network should no longer promote her. Others argue that this scandal is exactly what makes reality TV interesting and that viewers would watch to see what happens next. TLC has not yet released an official statement, but insiders claim that a major announcement about Angela's future is coming soon. Outside the network, fans are debating how Angela got to this point. Some believe her years of explosive behavior were signs of deeper personal struggles and that her hunger for control and constant temper would eventually lead to a serious fall. Others think she may have been influenced by the wrong people and that she is not the mastermind, but rather a victim of bad choices and bad company. Regardless of the theories, Angela's arrest has stamped her name into reality TV scandal history. Fan pages are split between those who feel sympathy and those who say they saw this coming. Some viewers are even calling for Michael to get his own spin-off, believing he deserves a chance to live free from the chaos. Social media remains filled with memes and comments, including edited images of Angela in an orange jumpsuit and jokes about her well-known behavior on the show. People are now asking what these 6 months in prison will truly mean for her life and career. Will this experience humble her, or will it make her return even louder and more defiant? Will Michael finally free himself, or will he get pulled back in once she's released? Will TLC remove her permanently, or take the risk and bring her back for ratings? Angela became famous in a world where chaos meant more screen time, and more screen time meant more fame. But now, the same traits that made her a standout are also what turned her into a major liability. Her arrest forces everyone involved, Angela, Michael, the network, and even the fans, to face the real-life impact of reality TV fame. People are no longer just watching a TV character. They are watching the real consequences of what happens when a reality star crosses a line that cameras can't protect them from. The only question left is what version of Angela Deem will walk out of prison 6 months from now. The world is already watching and counting down to her release. Fans, critics, and producers all wonder the same thing. Is this truly the end of Angela's reign as one of the most memorable names in reality television? Or is this the beginning of her biggest and most shocking comeback yet? As she sits behind bars, her name continues to dominate conversations, spreading beyond the typical 90-day Fiancé audience. What started as TV drama has now become a real-life example of how fame, scandal, and consequences collide. Some fans even believe she will turn this entire situation into a redemption story. 6 months in prison might mean nothing to Angela if she decides to return stronger. As one fan tweeted, Angela has always been a survivor. From her earliest appearances on Before the 90 Days, she positioned herself as the woman who didn't take nonsense from anyone, someone who would scream, curse, and fight for what she believed in. She didn't care about being polished or politically correct. She cared about being heard. That raw and unapologetic energy pushed her into the spotlight and made her one of TLC's most profitable stars. But now, that same energy is being seen in a different light. This isn't funny anymore, a longtime fan wrote on Instagram, because this is real life and people's lives are at stake. Angela is no longer just the loud grandmother from TV. She is a criminal in the eyes of many. Some viewers believe this arrest is the last line Angela has crossed, one she can't turn into entertainment this time. For years, people laughed at her insults, rolled their eyes at her tantrums, and treated her behavior as part of the show. But drug charges and prison time are not just another storyline. With Angela's reputation falling apart, many fans now say it is Michael's turn to step into the light. Whether or not TLC will take that direction remains uncertain. But the idea of Michael finally breaking away from Angela's chaos has caught the attention of fans all over the world. People are already calling for a new show focused on his life after Angela. For years, viewers saw Michael as the patient husband who quietly endured her explosive behavior, public insults, and humiliating outbursts. Now they want to see what his life could look like without her overshadowing every moment. Behind the scenes, TLC executives are facing a major decision. Angela brought some of the most talked about and viral moments in the franchise, but she also brought constant controversy. Now that her actions have turned into a criminal case, the network must decide whether to completely cut ties or take the risk of using her prison time as a future storyline. Some insiders claim TLC is secretly discussing a redemption special that could follow Angela after her release, while others insist that the network is done with her for good. The question now is whether the drama is still entertainment or if it has turned into something harmful. Networks, producers, and fans are being forced to confront that line. If someone like Angela can fall this far, what does that say about the system that made her famous in the first place? These events also raise questions about how reality TV operates. For years, networks have knowingly chosen dramatic and unpredictable personalities because they bring high ratings. Supporters of Angela say she deserves another chance, pointing to her rough past, her role as a grandmother, and her ability to connect with fans by being her unfiltered self. They believe that 6 months in prison might change her perspective and push her to rebuild her life. But others argue that she has been given many chances already and has only escalated her behavior over time. They see no reason to forgive now that her actions have turned into criminal consequences. Speculation about Angela's life after prison is at its peak as her sentence nears its end. Some people believe she will return louder than ever, turning her time behind bars into another dramatic comeback. Others think this is the end, and that she will fade away because the damage to her public image is too great. There are even claims that Angela has already told people close to her that 6 months won't stop her and that she plans to return to TV stronger and more dramatic than before. Even if she does return, the audience will see her differently now. Every outburst and every scene will be viewed with the knowledge of her arrest. TLC will have to be careful. Bringing her back could boost ratings, but it could also cause viewer backlash, boycotts, and public criticism. The network will have to decide if the attention she brings is worth the risk. Angela's arrest has become a warning about what happens when entertainment and real consequences collide. Her story shows how the spotlight can lift someone up, but also burn them when things go too far. Reality stars who believe shock value always leads to success may look at Angela's case and see the danger of crossing too many lines for attention. Fans who once cheered can just as easily turn away as everything settles. Angela Deem's legacy remains complicated. She is without a doubt one of the most memorable personalities in the history of 90 Day Fiancé. She made people laugh, cringe, argue, and react. She created moments that will be replayed and remembered online for years. But she also crossed lines, caused real emotional damage, and is now facing the consequences of her own choices. Only time will reveal what happens next. Angela might come out of prison ready to reclaim her title as the queen of reality TV chaos, or this may be remembered as the moment where Angela Deem finally lost it all. From her earliest appearance on Before the 90 Days, Angela made it clear that she was not there to blend in. She wanted to be the loudest voice in the room, and she succeeded. Every argument, every cigarette flick, and every explosive moment added to her unpredictable image. She built a reputation as the woman who didn't care what anyone thought. That attitude made her a star. But now it is also part of what made her fall so public and so severe. Supporters say that Angela's raw honesty was what made her different from other cast members who tried to maintain a polished image. She never pretended to be perfect. She let viewers see every flaw, every burst of anger, every breakdown. But critics argue that her behavior was never just entertainment. They say it was a pattern of disrespect that kept getting worse until it crossed the line into real harm. Now, with a criminal record attached to her name, the world no longer sees her just as a wild reality TV character. They see someone who must face the consequences of her actions. With her release date slowly approaching, conversation online has shifted to what kind of Angela will walk out of prison. Some fans believe prison will break down her ego and force her to reflect. They imagine a quieter, calmer Angela returning with a message about change and humility. But others believe the opposite, that prison will only fuel her anger and she will come back even more defiant, ready to prove she cannot be silenced. As fans argue across social media, one thing is clear, everyone is waiting. Whether they want to see her redeemed or want to see her fail, people are watching closely. Angela Deem has always thrived on being at the center of attention, and even behind bars, she continues to dominate conversation. The countdown to her release has already begun in fan circles, where TikTok edits, speculation videos, and dramatic voiceover clips about her return are spreading every day. Michael's role in this story also remains a major point of interest. Fans are now more invested in what he will do than ever before. Will he use this moment to finally step into his own story, free from Angela's control? Or will Angela's return pull him back into the same cycle all over again? Some viewers are actively hoping he takes this chance to rebuild his life separately, while others believe the drama between them is far from over and that a reunion, whether peaceful or explosive, is inevitable. Everything now hangs in uncertainty: Angela's future, Michael's choices, TLC's decision, and the public's reaction. Angela Deem once lived by the idea that attention was power. But now attention has turned into judgment and power has turned into consequence. Whether she rises again or disappears from the spotlight for good, her name has already become a symbol of how fast fame can flip from glory to downfall. For now, Angela sits in a controlled environment where no one cares about her past fame. The guards enforce the rules strictly, and the other inmates have their own problems to focus on. In a place where everyone wears the same uniform and follows the same schedule, Angela's signature loud personality has no special weight. That loss of control might be the greatest challenge she has ever faced. She can no longer hang up a call, storm out of a room, or demand attention like she did on the show. Here, everything is scheduled, monitored, and non-negotiable. People close to the situation say that Angela has moments where she tries to rebel, but those attempts are quickly shut down. There are no confessionals, no dramatic theme music, and no cameras capturing her reactions. There is no applause, only silence and structure. Each day is a reminder that real life doesn't pause for dramatic effect. Meanwhile, outside the prison walls, her story continues to spread. News outlets, fan pages, and commentary channels are all talking about her downfall. Every detail of her sentence is being analyzed. Every rumor about Michael is being shared, and every possible return scenario is being debated. Even people who haven't watched 90 Day Fiancé are now hearing about Angela through viral posts and clips. Some fan-made videos already imagine what her first day out of prison will look like. Will she walk out quietly, avoiding cameras? Or will she step out with her chin high, sunglasses on, and a comeback line ready for the world to hear? Knowing Angela's personality, many believe that silence is unlikely. As her release date gets closer, more questions begin to rise. Will she address her arrest publicly, or will she deny and dismiss it like she has done with past controversies? Will she apologize, or will she claim she was wronged? Will her return be met with cheers from loyal fans, or backlash from those who believe she has gone too far? The answers remain unknown, but one thing is certain: people will be watching. Angela always believed that being unforgettable was better than being liked. And in that sense, she succeeded. Her name is burned into the memory of reality TV history. Even if TLC cuts ties completely, even if she never appears on screen again, she has already carved out a legacy. A legacy built on loud moments, shocking lines, and now, a prison sentence that changed everything. The world of reality TV will move on, new stars will rise, new drama will take over timelines, but Angela's story will remain as a reminder of how fast things can change. Fame elevated her, but consequences brought her back down. In the world she once ruled with her voice and presence, things are shifting without her. New seasons are being filmed, new couples are being introduced, and new drama is taking over the spotlight. Angela, who once dominated every episode she appeared in, is watching her position slowly fade. For someone who built her entire identity on being unforgettable, the idea of being replaced may be harder to accept than prison itself. The silence around her is growing louder. No cameras, no trending clips, no sudden entrances filled with shouting. Just time. Time to think. Time to feel the consequences she spent years avoiding. Time to realize that even the loudest stars eventually face moments where they cannot speak their way out. Outside, fans are counting down. Every week, discussions grow. Will Angela walk out and act like nothing happened? Will she pretend the world misunderstood her? Or will she use the moment to reinvent herself and demand the spotlight once again? Some say she will return with fire in her eyes and headlines waiting for her. Others believe she will walk out and realize that the world has moved on without her. Michael's name continues to be part of the conversation, but this time, not as the husband who stood beside Angela, but as the man who might finally find peace away from the chaos. Fans imagine a scene where Angela is released expecting Michael to be waiting, only to discover that he has chosen a life that no longer revolves around her anger. Whether this becomes reality or not, the thought has captured the audience's imagination. Everything now rests on what Angela does next. Will she use her 6 months behind bars as a transformation, or as fuel for another wave of chaos? Will she walk out ready to apologize, or ready to fight? In a world that made her famous for being unpredictable, it seems fitting that her future remains a mystery even now. Angela Deem's story is no longer just a reality TV plot. It is a real-life turning point. And while she sits in a place where her voice no longer echoes through screens, the world outside is still waiting to hear what she will say next. Even in silence, Angela's presence lingers like a shadow over the franchise she helped shape. Every time a new couple argues on screen, every time a fresh controversy erupts online, there are comments comparing them to Angela. Viewers say things like, "This is nothing compared to when Angela was around," reminding everyone that her brand of chaos left a permanent mark. Even while locked away, she continues to influence the tone of conversations in fan groups, reaction videos, and commentary channels. People say they don't want to see her return, yet they keep talking about her. And in the world of reality TV, being talked about is the closest thing to power. Prison, however, doesn't care about power. Angela's daily life now consists of routine tasks, scheduled meals, silence, and rules she cannot argue against. She cannot storm out of a room. She cannot threaten to leave a scene. She cannot slam a door for dramatic effect. In this place, emotional outbursts don't create trending clips. They lead to disciplinary reports. Those who have seen her inside say, she still tries to carry herself like someone who expects to be heard. But with each passing day, that confidence is being replaced by something she hasn't shown on television before, restraint. Maybe it's not respect. Maybe it's survival. Angela is a woman used to controlling every narrative involving her. If someone spoke against her, she shouted louder. If she felt cornered, she escalated until everyone else gave in or backed away. But behind bars, loudness doesn't win arguments. It attracts attention, and in prison, attention can be dangerous. So, slowly, Angela is being forced to do something she hasn't done in a long time. Listen. On the outside, Michael's quiet is louder than any statement he could make. For years, he let Angela speak for both of them, even when her words made him the subject of ridicule. Now, with Angela silenced by circumstance, the world waits for Michael's voice. Fans refresh his social media, expecting a post, a quote, anything that gives them a hint about his next move. But his silence is deliberate. Some say it's strategy, others say it's freedom. For the first time, he doesn't have to immediately react to something Angela said or did. He doesn't have to defend her. He doesn't have to explain her behavior to strangers online. His peace is unsettling to those who expected him to fall apart without her. TLC executives are still monitoring the reaction. They know that audiences are driven by curiosity, not morality. Even people who claim to be disgusted by Angela's actions are still watching updates about her. That interest represents potential profit, but also potential backlash. The network has never faced a scandal this serious involving one of their most recognizable faces. They have meetings where Angela's name is spoken not as a person, but as a brand, an asset, or a liability. Can she be repackaged as a redemption story, or has she become too toxic to be associated with? It all depends on how the public mood shifts when her release date gets closer. Some insiders believe TLC is already drafting two plans. One where Angela is welcomed back in a heavily controlled and edited redemption arc, and another where she is quietly phased out, her name mentioned only in past tense, like a chapter the franchise has moved on from. But reality TV history shows something important. Viewers love a downfall, but they love a comeback even more. The question is whether Angela still has the power to command a comeback the way she once commanded a scene. Her supporters argue that she has always bounced back from every controversy thrown her way. They say she is built for conflict, that she thrives in it. They believe 6 months in prison won't humble her, but will harden her, giving her even more to talk about on screen. They imagine her stepping back into the spotlight, cigarette in hand, ready to tell her version of the story. But her critics insist that this time is different. They say the world has changed, that audiences are less forgiving about real crimes, and that Angela's behavior is no longer seen as entertainment. It's seen as danger. The world Angela left behind is not the same one she will return to. New cast members have taken over social media. New storylines are trending, and younger viewers who never saw her early seasons are now discovering her through clips that paint her as the villain, not the star. Fame moves fast, and it rarely waits for anyone, especially not someone who no longer has access to a camera. Inside prison, Angela reportedly spends her days talking less and observing more. She watches the social hierarchy among inmates the way she once watched cast members at tell-all tapings. She studies expressions, alliances, betrayals. In a strange way, it mirrors the reality TV environment she once thrived in. But there's a difference. Here, no one is performing for viewers. Every word carries weight. Every look can lead to consequences. Reality is no longer entertainment. It is survival. For Angela, who built her image on being unapologetic, the real challenge begins after her release. She will walk out into a world where her every move will be judged more strictly than before. She will have to speak carefully, or risk losing whatever remains of her career. But people close to her say Angela doesn't want to stay quiet. They say she is already preparing her side of the story, waiting for the moment she can speak freely again. They say she believes she can still take control of the narrative when the time comes.